Ange, Rob and Robbo.
Streaming live across the globe, Anjali Rao, Rob McKnight and David Robinson.
Ange, Rob and Robbo. News, entertainment too. It's the Ange, Rob and Robbo. Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Well, welcome indeed to another big episode of the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. And you know what? He's back! Hello, David Robinson.
Hello there. Oh, get out of here, you guys. Stop it. Whatever.
We've got a studio audience.
See, I bring the audience in. That's what I do.
You do.
No, great to be back. Great to be back. Had the time off and then was away for a little bit, but lovely to be back with you, Robert.
It's lovely to have you back. Well, you missed Anne. She was meant to be back tonight, but she's been called to the Real Housewives of Melbourne duty. So we have gone...
I didn't read that. I read that there was a feud behind the scenes on the show. Daily Mail, ping. It's outrageous what's been happening behind the scenes between Anjali Rao and me. We won't appear on the program ever together again, but more details if you keep watching this show.
That could actually be true. But you know what we did? What? We had to go to the other side of the world to find someone worthy of filling in for Anjali Rao, and it's none other than actress Sarah Monahan. Hello, Sarah.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm so excited to be here. It is morning. It's like 6:30 in the morning. The sun's about to come up.
I really like your hair. Your hair looks really good.
Thank you. It's my Smurf look.
It's a great look. It's a great look. And Sarah appears on the TV Black Box podcast with me every week. So Sarah and I, we just don't get to see enough of each other, obviously.
I like the way you said TV bleep box because that's what you have to do every time I'm on there.
Every time. Sarah will try and keep the swearing to a minimum today. We've got a big show coming up. We will have the evictee from Big Brother, and I'm just a little hesitant to actually say who it is because I don't know if the eviction's gone to air yet, so I'll just wait. But we have tonight's evictee. We also have Bruno is back, so we'll be catching up with Bruno and a whole lot more as well. But in the meantime, let's get into the hot button issues. And the family of a truck driver who crashed while he was high on ice has been awarded a payout of more than $500,000, despite the employer's insurer rejecting the claim from the driver's family, which was later overruled by the Workers' Compensation Commission, which noted the driver was expected to complete his shipment in an illegal time frame, and by using drugs to stay awake, he was acting within the course of his employment at the time. Sarah, are you shocked someone can get a payment despite driving while high?
Yeah, but I mean, if they expected their drivers to do that kind of stuff, then maybe it's not so shocking. It's shocking to me that they don't have laws to stop them from driving so many crazy hours.
Well, we do in Australia. So what's interesting about this is, of course, the company would say, no, we do not condone the use of drugs. We find it appalling. We would fire them if we knew about it. But the fact is, this guy had to do a 15-hour drive, stop A to stop B was 15 hours, and he had less than one night to do it, so there's no time for resting. He basically had to be on drugs to be able to do the shipment, and I think this is an issue facing truck drivers all around the world, especially here in Australia, who really have to do what they can to meet these deadlines that are unreasonable.
Here they have a maximum 8 hours you're allowed to drive. And when you're on the highway, they have those truck stations that you have to pull into. And then also the cameras can tag the license plate and they know if they're speeding or if they've been driving for too long.
And yes, when Sarah says where she is, she's in Florida, in the USA, of course. Yeah. Robbo, what do you think about this? Does it worry you that so many truck drivers are high?
Yeah, of course. You don't want people who are high driving any kind of vehicle, especially a massive semi-trailer. So, of course, look, I think this story is great for one reason, and that is it paints a picture, it puts a spotlight onto what happens. We don't respect our truck drivers. You know, one of the greatest sayings I see when you're in a road trip, you just see it all the time. It says, without trucks, Australia stops. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's exactly right. And we hear all the time that these logistics companies, these transport companies, push and push and push and push. And I think this is the right call. It doesn't bode well for transport companies because he didn't just fall asleep at the wheel. He did die. Other people were injured, and he was using illicit drugs. That really paints a picture of what that industry is, and they need to wake up to themselves.
Yeah,
I
couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. It's a scary situation. The government can regulate, but at the end of the day, it comes down to what is expected from these drivers. The companies aren't checking their logbooks to make sure they're staying within the law, and how can they when the deadlines are so ridiculous, Robbo?
And that's right. They don't check the books, Rob, because they don't want to see what's in them. So let's just not look at the books, and we'll just make sure that someone's got to get from Perth to Brisbane in 4 hours. And if you can't, you don't have a job. And that's the reality of it. If you can't do it, then off you shoot, we'll get someone else. When people have to turn to things to still put money on the table and still have a career, I mean, the industry has to change because it's not taking 100% profit over care of your employees. It would have to be right up there, the trucking industry.
Yeah, look, I saw some feedback come up just from Matthew saying no one is forcing you to take drugs, go on strike, join a union, there are other options. Sometimes there aren't. These are working families trying to survive. And the thing I take heart in is that this family... Maybe he was the sole bread earner. I don't know, but at least they're looked after to some degree. They lost their dad. Now, yes, he shouldn't have been on drugs. I completely agree with that. He's driving a very big vehicle and high on drugs. Not a good scenario at all. But the fact is, until we protect these people, they're going to take risks like this because they need to make money. They make money from doing their deliveries. You know,
Correct.
It's just not a simple scenario. All right, let's move on. Because a refugee being sued by Peter Dutton after labelling the federal politician a rape apologist says politicians should be more tolerant of criticism and the case has serious implications for freedom of speech. The Minister for Defence is taking a hardline approach to people who he alleges defame him on social media. Lawyers for the defendant, Shane Bazzi, say he was expressing an opinion and that the community was entitled to expect elected representatives to be more tolerant of adverse opinions. Robbo, are politicians fair game, or do we all have to accept that you just can't go around defaming people?
No, politicians are fair game, and I think they need to get more of a thicker skin. How about call me a bit crazy here, Rob and Sarah, but maybe just put as much effort into politics as you do with this kind of... Look at something shiny over there. Just get on with the job. As a politician, you will be accused of things that you have done or haven't done. Mostly it's haven't done because, there's not a lot of action going on there. Lots of announcements, not a lot of follow-up. But the thing is, you get over it. You know what I mean? I just think that this is a waste of time. It's a waste of attention when there are so many other things on the table that we need to be looking at. But no, we've got to look over here because Peter Dutton got a little bit of hurt feelings because someone in a free society, I might add, in a free society expressed an opinion. We have freedom of expression here that is unlike a lot of other parts of the world. If you say something against the government, you can be in a lot of trouble. I'm looking at Dubai and Thailand. Here we can get a grip, get over it. And if you don't like it, and if you want to say robust things that he has said, which have been really inflammatory and really quite awful, if you can't then take it, then don't give it. No. And get out of Parliament. No one is there. No one is forcing Peter Dutton. No one came in and knocked on the door. He's, working in a fish and chip shop. Mate, we need you. You are the one that needs to go to federal Parliament. No, he tried to get there. He represents us, and he's not representing us.
That does not mean people can throw defamatory remarks at a person. We live in a free society, but there are rules. You can't just make up things.
But he says awful things about migrants, about refugees, about other politicians.
The two wrongs make a right.
No, but also, what the things he is saying that you're alleging him of are not defamatory. They're not against a person. He is being accused of being a rape apologist. He is taking a stand and saying, you can criticise me, you can criticise my policies, but when you accuse me of doing things or being someone that I am not, I am going to sue you. We have defamation laws in this country. And Sarah, I want to come to you in a second because the defamatory laws are very different in the States, where freedom of speech gets you out of a lot. We're much tougher in Australia. But there was a classic case, and I'm trying to remember which politician it was. It's like back in the 50s or 60s, where the President of the United States, I think it was, wanted to have a go, say his accuser, his opponent was a kitty fiddler. And all his advisors are saying, but he's not a kitty fiddler. Yes, but I want to hear him have to deny it, and say, I am not a kitty fiddler. The fact is, you cannot just hurl accusations against people. You have to work within the laws and go from there. Sarah, what do you want to say?
I'm torn because having been the subject of a lot of abuse on Twitter, so part of me gets it. But then at the same time, I learnt through the years that the easiest thing is, it's like the Streisand effect. If you go out and sue someone, you make a big deal. If you just ignore it or block the person, it's usually a lot easier. I blocked some idiot on Twitter last night because of the Michael Jackson thing. But there's a fine line. And I think if you're a politician and you can't take a sledging, then maybe it's not the job for you.
No, there's a difference between a sledging and a personal abuse accusing you of something you don't believe you are doing. And it'll be interesting to see where these court cases go. But politicians shouldn't just have to accept what you want to say. That means you could go and say, well, Peter Dutton's a rapist. You can't say that. He's not a rapist, and it is defamatory to say so.
He didn't being a rapist, right? Didn't he say he was a rape apologist?
Yes, I went to an extreme for the point.
Apologising. But I think there's also the nuance of that there's a difference between saying he's a rapist versus he's an apologist. And maybe in that person's view, they were apologising for somebody being raped in Parliament and they thought it was not acceptable, and that was their view. And maybe they did go too far, but maybe they truly felt that he was a rape apologist.
But we do this on this program all the time. I'm confused a little bit here, Rob, because we say our opinions. Now, that person had an opinion based on what Peter Dutton's comments were, which was he labelled Brittany Higgins initially as we don't know about it. It's a he said, she said kind of thing. Well, to me, that's then someone could look at that and go, well, bloody hell, there's a lot of evidence there, and how about we start believing the victim? And also, my belief or my opinion is, in quote, he's a rape apologist. Now, that to me is an opinion. Now, the whole world's littered with opinions. We're about opinions on this show. Mm-hmm. That person had an opinion on a comment that he said. I don't think it fits in with this defamatory way of saying you're a rapist. A rapist apologist is an opinion based on what he said coming out of a case that is, thankfully still making shockwaves around Australia.
And look, you may have a point, and he may not win this over the rape apologist, because there would be an argument that this was my true opinion based on what I saw. And so this one is in more of a grey area. I was more using it as the point of talking about whether politicians should be able and should take people to court for defamatory statements, which I think they should be able to do. The simple fact is that it's going to be very interesting to see this, but anyone who waves the flag saying freedom of speech, and because you're a politician, I should be able to say something about you. And you can't say people who go into the public eye deserve it. All three of us here have been attacked on Twitter from complete a-holes, and the fact is people on Twitter say some pretty mean, horrific, vile stuff from behind fake accounts, and it's just not good enough, and they should be held accountable. All right. Let us know what you think. I look and see how many
followers they have, and if it's less than 100, I'm like, whatever, just block.
All right, moving on. And Liberal MP Andrew Laming, that politician who came under fire for taking pictures of a woman bending over and a whole range of other things, he's claimed some of his erratic behaviour is because of a medical condition. The Queensland MP has told news.com.au he has been diagnosed with ADHD by a psychiatrist. The publication reports the daily medication he now relies on has changed his life. Laming is set to return to work after being put on enforced leave by the Prime Minister. Rob, I'm too scared to ask this. Are you buying it?
When I saw this story throughout the day, I thought, what a piece, and I'm going to say it, what a piece of shit. There are so many people, high-functioning adults who work with ADHD every day. This is pitiful. This is disgusting. This is abhorrent that he would come out and he would say, oh, well, you know, it's my ADHD, but I'm taking a pill now and I feel better for it and I'm going to be better. I saw a wonderful tweet that said, the common attributes of ADHD don't include misogyny against women, taking photos of people's bottoms, being an asshole on Facebook. Weirdly, none of those, in all of the science behind ADHD, they've never been able to exactly pinpoint those attributes of the disease. Weirdly, because they're bloody not. This outrages me, and it speaks volumes of the man, and it speaks volumes of Prime Minister Scott Morrison, who allows this man to stay in Parliament just for power. He is not a fit and proper person, and the idea that he has the gall to come out and say, guys, it wasn't my fault, it was the ADHD, it can just make you be a creep, it can just make you be abusive, but I've taken a pill now and it's better for me. What a load of rubbish. He even said, I'm a doctor, but I didn't understand the science and the idea behind ADHD. This is outrageous, and he's a member of Parliament in our federal government. This is disgusting.
Look, I do agree. The one thing I would say is ADHD does take away... there's an impulse control problem. So sometimes you do things before you think about what you're doing. And so there are issues on that front. But I think the long list of... issues here is not down to ADHD. Sarah, has this diagnosis ever been used to excuse bad behaviour over in the States?
So we actually had a friend who their daughter went completely off the rails. They thought that there was something completely wrong with her, and it turned out she had a brain tumor, and they didn't find out till right before she died, and that's why she went completely crazy. And that happens, was a really horrific. And that was such a sad case, and they just thought that she'd gone turned 16 and become a complete brat, and then it was devastating when she died, and the parents never got over it. So to see somebody using something like ADHD as an excuse to, number one, you're ruining everybody now who has ADHD, because now anytime someone says, "Oh, ADHD," they're like, "Oh, you're going to upskirt me." So it's a complete disservice to all of those people. And I mean, really, I know a lot of people with ADHD. It's super common now. Everybody has it. And it's it doesn't make people assholes. It doesn't. And I think it's a very, and especially if he's a doctor, he's what thing can I make up, and...
That's exactly what I was about to say. He's got his media people down. All right, guys, if we could get our laptops out, our government laptops, if we could Google, get me a disease.
No, you can't say that.
This is my opinion. I think this is what happened. I agree with Sarah. I believe they have
for the purposes of comedy, Robbo, for the purposes of comedy.
My opinion. Come at me, Andrew Lamming.
For the purposes of comedy.
Yeah, I'm making a joke and it's satire.
Yeah, thank you.
But I reckon, though, as a joke, and I'll get to the punchline in a minute, spoiler alert, the punchline is Andrew Lamming, but I honestly think there might have been, and look, I feel comfortable in saying this because I think I agree with Sarah, I think there might have been an idea of, well, what can we do? Because he is being so blatantly obvious about it that no.
It's got to be something that's not illegal. I can't have,
Correct.
taken a few drugs and then,
Correct.
that's why I was a dick. It's I've got a medical condition. Because now you can blame everything on medical conditions. And now there's a pill, so I'm totally better because I'm on medication now. Or I'll do some meditation and work it out and I'll be totally good.
I think we know where you both stand. Robbo especially. All right, let's move on. Because if bread expiring too soon is the bane of your existence, have a look at this life hack posted on TikTok by Tony Zakahara.
People always ask me, why is everything I have always expired? When it comes to bread though, I always have the freshest. Here's a little life hack. We turn the breads over, we can see two clips. One red one, meaning it was made on a Thursday, and one white one, meaning it was made on a Friday. So as you can see, the red one expires on the 24th and the white one on the 25th. And that is why I take the freshest bread all the time.
While many appreciated the heads up, another user named Kate Murdoch took Zach to task.
I do this. It makes my job so much harder. Like that for a reason, so that it goes in order and that we don't waste any. We usually have what we think is going to sell and we put it in the rotation that's oldest to newest, so that the old isn't shoved to the back. When people do this, they try and search for the newest one. It ends up leaving the oldest ones last. And a lot of the time we end up having to throw them out, so please don't. One day your bread won't make much of a difference to you, I promise. You will not even be able to taste the difference or tell the difference, I promise you. But it does make a hell of a lot of a difference to our farmers and us.
Well, except if it goes mouldy on that extra day. Sarah, I'm going to be honest here. I always look for items with the longest expiry date. I'll be in the milk aisle going, just get to the back there, thank you very much. Am I a bad human being?
Look, I miss Australian bread because it actually goes moldy. In the US, you can buy bread and leave it on the counter, and it's good 3 weeks later, and it's got so many chemicals and preservatives. It never, ever goes bad. And so I'm always like, God, I just miss Australian bread because it actually molds after 2 days. But stick it in the fridge, it's fine. And if you're throwing bread away, it's probably because you're making too much, because not everybody knows this hack. So if there's still bread, then there's just too much. But when I used to drink milk, because I don't drink dairy milk anymore, but or if I buy it for my husband, I do look for the freshest milk. So I'm totally the bread guy.
Yeah, and the fact is, that is outright. Just because you want to hide it up the back or, put the older loaves at the front because you want the consumer to take it, that's not our problem. If you want us to take the older stuff, reduce the price, Robbo, and then we'll make a choice as consumers.
No, thank you. I don't agree with that at all. The amount of people who can't feed themselves, the amount of people who can't afford to buy food for their kids, and then we've got these privileged people who come along and go, I've got a life hack for you. This way you can get 1 day fresher bread. Who cares? Like, if we didn't have a problem with homelessness, with poverty in this country, especially after the pandemic, then fine, put your little entitled hack on TikTok.
Well, but this way they're getting free bread because the store's giving them free bread now because it's day old. So now they're getting free bread. It's a win-win.
I was going for that as well. Yes, I didn't like that they throw it out, which then made me worry because a Woolworths spokesperson came out and said, oh, no, we deliver food and everything to our charity partners. This is a woman who works in the store who's not at corporate and was saying, well, we've got to throw it out. So which is it, Woolworths? Are you throwing it out or are you sending it to a charity? That's the discrepancy that I would like answered. The other thing is it's 1 day. It's bread. Like, this is
no, it makes a difference.
It's not a life.
Absolutely makes a difference. Robbo, you know what? I'm going to wear that. I'm an entitled... What did you say? An entitled...
Let's look
whatever you said. Whatever you said. Oh, you got the replay, Amanda? Whatever you said, I am that. Because I'm a consumer. I have I like fresh bread, and I cannot lie. I love fresh bread, and I'm not going to be sorry that I go and choose the freshest loaf. I'm sorry, I can't, and I don't care if I'm a bad human being. That's who I am.
Do they put stuff on sale after a certain hour? Like a lot of the supermarkets here, after, like if it's the bakery bread, after like 5 p.m, it goes on discount because that way they can get rid of it.
Yeah, and milk in this country, what you'll find in Coles and Woolies especially, is that if it's getting really close to the use-by date, they will reduce the price. The difference with bread is it doesn't have a use-by date anymore. It has a baked-on date. And this goes back to the 80s, where up until the 80s, we used to have use-by with bread. Well, the bakers asked the government to change that because they wanted it to be a baked-on, so that... I'm right. Is it... Or have I confused it? Was it the other way? It may have been the other... I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to just go back 30 seconds and pretend that never happened.
There's a use-by, a sell-by, a made-on. Like, there's so many different dates, and if you're not looking at them properly, because, like, here I know there's, like, a sell-by, like, because the other day... like, we don't go to the supermarket anymore. We have Uber deliver the groceries. But it's like we bought lamb, Australian lamb, actually, and it had a sell-by date on it. And then, I know, it was delicious. So there was a sell-by date. There's a use-by date on milk. And then like other things have a made on date. So if you buy breads and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you have to know which label you're looking at.
And also, look, Rob, if you want your freshest bread, why don't you support a local small business and go to your bakery? That's the people power that we
Actually,
need.
I'm a big fan of Baker's Delight. We don't have any up here on the Gold Coast. They're really hard to find where we live.
That's a franchise. I'm talking about bread and butter, ma and pa, bacon at 2 a.m. in the morning.
But I will tell you, I buy the fresh bread at Woolies.
Here.
I don't buy the pre-packaged bread that, the brands. I buy the stuff they make in the morning. So I do. I stand by what I'm talking about. But you know what? That other anecdote, I felt so confident going in, Robbo. I really felt like I had a handle on what had happened. And halfway through it, I went, I think I've stuffed this up.
It happens. It happens to us all.
It happens. I'm with Sarah on this one. It happens, buddy.
It happens. All right. Let's move on. Coming up shortly, we will be chatting to the latest Big Brother evictee. And there's a whole lot more as we find out what Bruno wants to talk about this week. I actually have no idea what we're talking about with Bruno. Abby?
We'll find out.
Oh, Abby says it's good. Okay, great. We're nothing if not honest here at the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. All right, let's move on. Because gold mining began in Australia in the 1850s, but fast forward almost 200 years and it is now the premise of Discovery's #1 local show, Aussie Gold Hunters. And this week it's back for its 6th season. Have a look.
There is no better time to be a gold miner than right here, right now.
The gold season is back on.
Yeah, baby. This is a massive risk.
If it's there, we'll fight it.
Oh, bro, dude, that's gold.
Finally!
You're kidding.
For those who dare.
Gunshot, Shane. This is what makes people quit.
It's out there for the taking.
Yes! That's gold.
Aussie Gold Hunters starts Thursday, April 29 on Discovery.
Indeed it does. The Poseidon crew, Brent and Ethan, join us now. Welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo show, guys.
How you going, guys? How are you? Buddy? How are you?
We're all very, very good. Look, you make some huge discoveries this season, including a nugget worth $100,000. What is the secret to a successful gold hunt?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, a lot goes into it. It's not... there's no real secrets apart from hard work and a lot of toil and a bit of good luck thrown in there. And hopefully, as I sometimes call them, I call them the gold gods. And if they're shining on you, it might give you a lump of gold every now and then.
If you're lucky.
That's certainly what you're hoping for. You two are brothers-in-law. Ethan, your father is also part of your team. And Brent, your son has started in the business too. They say, there's a golden rule, never go into business with your family. Was that ever a concern, especially with so much money involved?
No, it's actually the opposite. In this sort of business and the sort of nuggets which you got here, right? You've got to have people that you can trust. That's one of the ones we got off season 6, and it may not be the biggest one that we find in season 6, but it's one of them. But when you're seeing nuggets like this, you've got to have people that you can trust. And the ones I trust the most, is this guy here and my father-in-law and also my son. So it's quite easy for one of these just to go missing really quickly. And you've got to have people you can trust, and they're the people I can trust.
I've got to say, I didn't actually expect you to have nuggets at home. I thought as soon as you found them, you'd sell them off. What's the process here?
Oh, we do, because this was a bit of a special occasion for you guys. I sort of ventured out to make sure I could show you something from 6. But no, sometimes we sell our nuggets, and sometimes we try and hold on to them.
I love that. But it doesn't look real. That's the thing that gets me.
Well, this is actually what we call it's not a true nugget as such. It's a specimen which has got gold and quartz, but it's a quite heavy specimen. This one's about 36 ounces in total weight with about nearly 27 ounces of gold in it. It's quite a chunky specimen, a beautiful one. And put it this way, you don't throw them back.
Certainly not. Hey, you guys, your biggest find and the series record actually made worldwide news last year after you found 2 huge gold nuggets in just one day, weighing over 3.5 kilograms combined and worth over $350,000. Tell me, in that moment, when you find them, what are you thinking? Because that is just an extraordinary moment, isn't it?
I tell you what, Heath will have his take on this, but to me, we've been lucky enough to find a few of them along the way, right? But to me, it's not an excitement thing usually straight away. It's a bloody relief, to be honest. So you put a lot of time, effort into it, and when you get it, it's sort of a relief straight away, and then the excitement builds. But when we got the biggest one, which Paulie found, as you can probably see there, I'm actually looking at it in relief, and then the excitement builds. But when we got the second one, I actually was more excited about that one because the first one sort of got you that relief, and the next one was the happiness. But Ethan's a bit different.
Well, it differs for me probably a lot. Brent, he looks at a piece of gold and he's excited because he's the first one to touch it in however many millions of years, and he looks at it a lot differently than I do. I see money.
And what I take from this, Ethan, is you're the quiet one. You don't get a word in around Brent.
Look, it's hard at time. You push in, mate, but boss for you. That's what happens.
Mate, I love gold, mate. I love gold and gold nuggets. And when I start talking about gold, it's hard for anyone else to get a word in. But having said about nuggets, about these sorts of nuggets, here in Australia, which a lot of people may not realise, Rob, is that this is probably one of the only places in the world that you can find these things on a relatively consistent basis. Over 90% of the largest nuggets ever found in Victoria. Nearly all the consistent gold nuggets, even of today, are found in Australia. And it's so rare to find them, and that's why some of these pieces are worth, anywhere between 20 to 50 to nearly 100% above the price of gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez, I seriously could speak to you guys all night because you guys are... And weirdly, one of my daughters today went on a gold expedition. She went on an excursion. So
where was the excursion?
I was up here in Queensland on the Gold Coast.
Oh, was it? Rightio. Yeah, there you go.
But I'll send her down for some work experience and she'll only take a 10% cut. It'll be fine.
Oh, don't worry, mate. Everybody puts their hand out in this business, mate. Don't you worry about it.
I bet they do. Hey, Aussie Gold Hunter Season 6 starts this Thursday, the 29th of April, at 7:30pm on Discovery. Brent and Ethan, thank you so much for joining us on the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. You guys are just brilliant.
No worries at all. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure. Now it's time to go to Robbo for the latest news headlines. Hold
on. I just want to quickly talk. There was a lot of trigger words in there for me. He's talking about relief after getting a nugget and the wonderful relief feeling the nugget, and there was just lots of trigger words happening there for me because I get him. Sometimes I get a little bit. I'm fossicking and I'm prospecting and I'm not getting much, and then you get a nug. And then you just feel a relief. So I love gold. I love it as much as those two. And what a wonderful way to give that to the audience here on the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
I love that they're called Poseidon, even though they have nothing to do with the sea.
Yeah, that's the inland sea of gold, Sarah. Yes.
Okay.
Very true. All right.
Now after your nugget talk, Robbo, you've got to go into serious mode because it is time to get the very latest news headlines.
Thank you, Rob. Let's check the stories that's making news this Wednesday, the 28th of April, 2021. It was New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian has warned the state could expect a double-digit spike of COVID-19 cases. So far today, there have been 24 COVID-19 cases in hotel quarantine across the country. However, not all states have released their daily figures, so that number could grow. The news comes as some states experience a surge in return travellers testing positive to coronavirus in recent days. India has reported its worst day on record with a whopping 360 1,960 new COVID-19 infections and 3,293 deaths in the last 24-hour period. News.com.au reports India has now clocked a total of 18 million infections, with the latest daily spike the highest a single country has ever recorded in a 24-hour period. Back home now, Prime Minister Scott Morrison has announced a $747 million will be spent on upgrades to military bases used for war game exercises to prepare Australia in the face of an uncertain world and region. The investment will upgrade 4 military bases in the Northern Territory to make improvements to training areas used for combat training, including for joint exercises with US troops and other allies.
All of our objectives here through the activities of our Defence Forces are designed to pursue peace. But to do that, in a region as uncertain as this, you need to ensure you have the defence capability that enables you to protect and defend Australia's interests.
Porsche driver Richard Pusey has been sentenced to 10-month jail for filming and swearing at the 4 Victorian officers as they lay dying on the side of the road. Due to time already served, Pusey could walk free if he is granted bail on other matters. He has already spent 296 days in prison. And finally tonight, a father hoping to have a son failed to hold back his disappointment when a gender reveal party showed his girlfriend was expecting a second girl. The Daily Mail reports the moment rapidly turned from joyous to awkward when the mother burst a black balloon as a crowd of excited friends looked on. The balloon released a flurry of smaller pink balloons and streamers into the sky, indicating another girl after her first. And, well, congratulations or commiseration? Congratulations. Big Daddy there.
I don't understand why we're having gender reveal parties. I thought we didn't assume gender anymore.
Oh, Sarah, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other show.
There was a gender reveal party that caused an earthquake, I think, in the US. Well, that was happened recently. All right, let's get to the weather now. Tomorrow, Cairns can expect showers tomorrow, top of 27. As can Brisbane, which will reach a high of 25 degrees. There's another possible smoke haze for Sydney on what will be a mostly sunny day with a top of 24 degrees. Canberra can expect some morning fog before also getting a dose of 21 degrees and a dose of vitamin D. It will be a sunny day in Melbourne with a top of 19 degrees, while Hobart will have a light shower or two before hitting to 19 degrees. The sun will be out in Adelaide, 24 they can expect there, but showers will be increasing in Perth, 25 degrees there, 25 for Alice Springs, and mostly sunny in Darwin, 33 degrees there. All right, let's get a hit of entertainment now with the wonderful Jason Roses. I've missed you, Jason, and a very, very good evening to you.
I have missed you too, Robbo. Coming up on tonight's entertainment report, a win for Britney Spears and the movement. She is set to appear in court, but what will she say? More reality TV contestants are taking on the networks, and you won't believe who is getting ready to sue and what cult classic has been dethroned from its perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll have all the stories and more in the entertainment report coming up. And guess what? Tonight I am on before Bruno. So I'm going to get through the whole report, like from start to finish. I don't have to listen to him yapping and just talking away. Thank goodness no Bruno before me.
I only did that to stop you bitching.
He just loves a chat.
He does love a chat. He does love a chat. All right, Jason, we look forward to that. Thank you very much. Well, Channel 7's Big Brother is off to a cracking start this year and was one of the biggest characters was sent packing tonight, but she didn't go down without a fight. We'll meet Renata in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at her in the house.
I'm going to leave the skins on.
No.
The skins are tasty.
No, I know what I'm doing now.
No, you don't. But these pink potatoes are got
You can do your way, I'll do my way. I'm not eating those skins.
You don't like skins?
No, thank you.
You're not eating the skins?
No.
Renata dominates the house. And I know that there's a few people that feel uneasy.
Look, that skin is transparent. It's better without it, trust me.
If I win today's challenge, my plan is to put Renata and Mel up for eviction and a pawn. So someone who is safe so that either Renata or Mel leave.
Well, it was almost like a prophecy, because that's exactly what happened. Renata, welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo show.
Thank you having me on a show.
Oh, look, absolute pleasure. When you look back at your time in the house, do you think you made any mistakes?
Oh, absolutely. I probably did mistakes. Maybe Katie had to go home instead of Max.
It was fascinating watching you in the house, because you weren't afraid to be yourself. You were fiery, but Katie certainly had a target on your back, didn't she?
Absolutely, from day one, yes. Because in the first challenge, she even doubted everyone else to win it. She thought that no one is capable to win it. So she made us invisible and then surprised.
Well, you certainly weren't happy being put up for eviction. Let's see how you dealt with that situation.
Nothing personal, honey.
It's
nothing personal at all. I just find you a huge threat. Like, that's all it is.
No. You are influenced by Katie. That's what it is.
No,
and
it's not.
It's very upsetting because you're a strong person.
Renata,
she influenced you.
No,
yes,
honey.
she did.
You can believe
I don't want
that.
to talk. I'm actually sleeping in this room. It is like...
Okay, you can believe that, but I'm telling the truth.
You think I'm strong? I think you are weak.
Okay, go for it. Go for it. That's fine if you want to say that.
That's fine.
That just shows the type of person you are, honey.
Really? You don't even know what person I am.
Darling, I've taken time to get to know you.
Did you? Did you make an effort?
Whatever. You're just angry.
Whatever.
I don't mind.
Renata, look, Jess denied she was being influenced, but we saw in the clip I played earlier that Katie had already decided you and Mel would be nominated. So did Jess lie to you?
Yeah, absolutely. That was influenced by Katie. That was Katie's plan, using Jess as a tool. So.
And you don't seem to respect that, do you?
No, absolutely not. Have your own opinion. You can't be influenced by not having, not even knowing the person and why you're doing what you're doing. So this is very dangerous. If you're doing things and you don't know why you're doing them, well, are you playing the game or are you just being used as a tool?
Tell me about Danny and his control of the house. What do you make of him?
Yeah, he's funny. He's full on. I even said, Daniel, calm down, because you're putting a target on me. Because he showed that we are strong, we are a team. People knew who is with you, and who's gonna go and vote for. So he was revealing too much too soon, because he's full on. He wasn't holding back.
But he made a tactical error, didn't he, by not eliminating Katie when he had the chance. And I've got to say, you see this time and time again. People make decisions for the wrong reasons. I think he's attracted to Katie. I think he had a bit of a crush on her and thought, I'll keep her around for a bit.
Nah, no way. That's not how it was. The eyes were probably elsewhere, definitely not on Katie.
Oh, so give us the juice. Who would Danny like in the house?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No, there was no romance or anything like that. That's for sure.
Oh, no, there wasn't romance, but he was certainly giving her the guided tour of the house when she first came in. But anyway, maybe I'm reading too much into it.
He just wanted to find out who she is, how strong, where she came from, who he's dealing with. I think that's his tactic.
Fair enough. Do you have any regrets about your time in the Big Brother house?
Oh, no regrets. It's just maybe I wish I didn't cry at the end like a baby.
Oh, no, we love the humanity. Don't worry about that.
Yes, but people make their own decisions. What can you do?
You take them on like you did. That eviction ceremony was fabulous. I love it. You stood your ground and you gave them what for. Look at you here. You are a woman in control.
Yeah, and you can't be in control because Big Brother is in control. And that's what's wrong.
Well, I know you said you wanted to have another wine, so Big Brother airs Monday to Wednesday at 7:30pm and on Sundays at 7pm on Channel 7. And just about every Big Brother contestant will have their first interview after the Big Brother episode right here on the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. Renata, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Bye.
It's the red light shot of the day. Where are you going today? You never know where you'll end up with the red light shot of the day.
And today we're taking you to Verbier, a village in southwestern Switzerland. It is one of the premier backcountry ski resorts in the world, where some areas cover with snow all year, and it was the birthplace of Fergie, the Duchess of York. Today they're in for a rainy and chilly day with a top of 8 and a bottom of -2 degrees. Let's get into some feedback now here on the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show with special guest Sarah Monahan. Let's see that feedback now as we get it up. Nicole Motley, yay, Robbo is back. Oh, Nicole, get out of here, beautiful woman. Thank you very much. Regina says, isn't it amazing that Sarah can join in halfway around the world?
It is,
exactly
and
right,
it's
Reggie.
seamless.
We're very grateful and very happy to do that. Jan Murphy says, still the same shirt. I think that's unfair to say that about Sarah. She's got a wonderful wardrobe. Possibly you might be saying that about my Kmart shirt here. Big Brother Oz says, when is Ange coming back? Who's Ange? It's the question I'm
I
asking
think
you,
she
Big
will
Brother.
be back Monday, I think.
I'm just kidding, Ange. You know, we love and adore you. I'm just kidding here. Nicole once again says, will we see the birthday clip? Well, we've all been asking for it. And our birthday was 8 days ago.
Yeah.
Where's
the fans
clip?
made it. The fans made it. It is brilliant.
I know that.
I
wish I could see it.
I've been
Haven't seen
trying
it.
to wait until we're all together, the three of us, Ange, Rob and Robbo, to play the clip. Which is why it was going to be tonight, and then Ange got called away. If you guys want us to play it before then, that's fine. But I thought it might be extra special if we play it when we're all together. So I hope
that's
you guys
lovely.
will bear with us on that, because it is brilliant, and we love the effort you guys put in and the loyalty you all show us.
Indeed, we do. Thank you, Robert. Next up on feedback here on the Ange,
that's
Rob and
it,
Robbo Show. I love how professional this
Still
is.
smooth.
You can still use your hands for a wrap up. If you want to leave your feedback, you can find us on social media at the ARR Show on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, or Ange Rob Robbo on Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok.
Oh, I'm so pleased he hasn't lost the sassiness, and I've lost which way I look at you now, Robbo. I mean, I've redesigned the studio.
This is something that I've watched all night, being my first show back, and you're looking there, and to me, that's your roller door. That's the door of the studio. So
I'll take a shot for Instagram.
Look at the ladies in the eye, Rob. For God's sake, respect. You know, don't look at the roller door. Look at the ladies who put this show together. For goodness' sake.
No. Before we went on break, Amanda was behind me and over there. When we originally launched, she was over here, but now she's sitting that side to me. So now I'm looking at Amanda over there. I will take a photo and show everyone, but
when I've done my hair.
So what, a couple of years?
Yeah.
It was a joke.
Amanda, I'll say it for you, you bitch. You absolute bitch.
Good to have you back, Robbo.
Thanking you, Amanda.
Is it? I get in so much more trouble. All right, it's time for some entertainment. And for that, we bring in the star of Married at First Sight, the one and only Jason Roses. Hello, Jason.
I've never done the entertainment so early on a Wednesday. This just feels so different. Like, I'm very excited for this.
Don't get used to it. But Jason, there's some exciting news today. We're going to see the Flintstones all grown up.
Yeah, Rob, there's a new animated series in the works. It's called Bedrock. Now, it's set 20 years after the original Hanna-Barbera series. Fred is on the brink of retirement. Pebbles is in her 20s and embarking on her own career, transitioning from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age. Now, Elizabeth Banks, she will be producing the pilot. She will also be the voice of Pebbles. Now, Michael Thorne, the president of Entertainment for Fox, said their imprint on the animation universe is undeniable, and the idea of adapting it for today's audience is a challenge we here at Fox are very much looking forward to taking on with Warner Brothers. Elizabeth and Lindsay, no pressure whatsoever. I'm very, very excited to see this. I was a huge fan growing up, so I can't wait to see them all grown up 20 years on.
And Jason, were you excited because in the theme song it said, "Let's have a gay old time"? Is that why you love it?
Yes, I know. You and I, Robbo, can have a gay old time.
Buy me a drink first. But before we get to that drink, let's talk about Britney Spears. This is a story that never stops. What's the latest on her conservatorship?
Yes, as we know, like, she's been very, very quiet throughout the whole time, the whole Free Britney movement, but she is set to speak out on it for the first time. So to remind you all, her father was appointed as the conservator back in 2008 after she had a quite public breakdown. And then last year she had a bid to remove him, but that failed. And the latest attempt to remove him was postponed until July. Now, Britney's lawyer has told the courts that she wants a hearing as soon as possible. Now, the date has been set for June 23rd. I'm very interested to see Britney talk because she has been incredibly quiet. She hasn't defended her father. She hasn't attacked her father. She simply hasn't said anything. And as far as I'm concerned, it's not giving, her father has been quite quiet throughout this whole process. And I think rightfully so. He hasn't want to come out and sort of speak against his daughter. So I'm very interested to see what Britney has to say about this because it certainly has played out in the media quite a bit. So time will tell if her father has been in the right or wrong. I have my ideas on what's happening, but we'll wait and see.
Oh, alrighty then. Look forward to that.
Jason, a classic movie has lost an accolade.
It has Citizen Kane. So it used to have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes based on critic reviews, but it's now got 99%. An article, can you believe it, from 1941 in the Chicago Tribune was added as a part of the site's archival project, and it brought its score down. It was added as a scanned newspaper article, and here's part of what it had to say. This is 1941. Whilst added is ridiculous. You've heard a lot about this picture, and I see by the ads that some expert thinks it's the greatest movie ever made. I don't. It's interesting. It's different. In fact, it's bizarre enough to become a museum piece. But its sacrifice of simplicity to eccentricity robs it of distinction and general entertainment value.
Interesting.
People are now I know. Isn't that? It just sounds like someone from like olden times wrote that. I see. It's all black and white. Who's even watched this film? But people are now declaring that any movie with 100% is now classified as better than Citizen Kane, including Paddington 2.
What, Paddington 2 has had a universal rating of 100%?
It has. Look, I've never watched Citizen Kane. I mean, that is way, way too old for me. I mean, when I get to the black and white realms, like, I don't even want to turn the TV on. I know that's when you were born, Rob, but when I was born, it was...
I was at the premiere of Citizen Kane, and what I do want to say is... Abby, that footage you clipped up is not Citizen Kane. I do not know what movie reel that is from. No, that is not Citizen Kane, the movie.
It's the trailer.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Really? Abby's saying it's the trailer. Where's Rosebud?
No one knows who Rosebud is, and no one knows what's going on. Let's just get on to the next question. That is so old.
But their hair was fabulous.
You can tell that Rob picks the entertainment topics because they're all from 1882. What's next? Charlie Chaplin's niece gives birth?
Hey, Jason, here's a tip. Feel free to send any suggestions throughout the day.
I am happy to. I will send suggestions.
Robbo.
Well, Robbo, it's your question.
No, that's right. He's turned his volume down.
Oh, no. He's leant on the volume stick.
That's the first time in a long time. Now, I understand that Charlie Chaplin, I heard this the other day, which I didn't know, he had a lot of BDE. He apparently had a very big talent. Do you know about this, Jason?
What did you say, BBE?
No,
BDE.
I think he's been very naughty
It's where
right now.
Angela Bishop spoke to Tracy Grimshaw on the Logies and said, "Oh, Tracy, you got a bit of BDE." And Tracy's like, "What? What is that?" It's big dick. Oh, Angela Bishop. And then she walked off. So that's a fun story for you. If only we could go to another wide shot so I could... Didn't know I had another question. So if we go to
All
another...
right, Jason, there's a new precedent for reality TV contestants. I'll say
There isn't. For the record, I have 0 BDE. We brought you guys the news last night of Piper O'Neill from My Kitchen Rules. Now, she's won a legal battle with 7 over psychological damages since appearing on the show. Now, Jess from The Bachelorette might be considering the same thing. If you need a reminder of who he was, I certainly do. This was his dramatic exit from the show.
You made me feel very uncomfortable at the photo shoot. I said I wanted fun, but I feel like you took it too far.
No, but you jumped on my back. I was the poor little pussy.
I got told to jump on your back because it was part of a photo shoot. I did not ask you to say, ride me and move your back while I was on top of you. Don't. No. And you've actually made a lot of the makeup artist and crew not feel very comfortable. And if there's anything in my entire life that I've been super sure of is that I will never allow a man to come in and with my sisterhood. Never. Can't have that in my life. Like, I feel like you think this is a joke, and that really annoys me.
Wow. Drama. Now, he spoke to Hughesy, Ed and Erin about life since the show and whether he would consider following in Piper O'Neill's footsteps. This is what he had to say.
Yeah, look, you know, I'm in contact with a few of these people that have reached these claims, and you know, I was been in and out of psychiatrists and stuff since this November 2019 myself, because it just took such a massive toll.
So will you look into legal action, Jess? Is that what you're saying?
Look, I can't confirm or deny that right now, Erin. I'm not a lawyer, but I have a law team. Don't worry.
Okay, well.
I'm sorry. If he does have mental health issues, I'm not laughing at that. Although he is a bit cray-cray. I mean, he's just creepy.
I just don't understand all these reality TV contestants now, you know, suing the production company. Like, if you don't get on reality TV, you know that they're going to edit you. Things are going to happen on the show. Don't get on. If you want your 5 minutes of fame, then, you know, you can't go and start suing the production company because you didn't get the fame you were after. Most of these people wanted to come out and expect to be famous, and they're not. Now they're like, oh, I want to go and sue.
Well, there is a precedent here, and this is actually a serious story in the way that, as we talked about, Piper O'Neill is getting $20,000 a year from Channel 7 because of her psychological issues. She is still getting help with that, and 7, basically it's a compensation claim through the Workers' Compensation Commission, and it opens the floodgates where people can sue, because networks have always tried to stop these people from being considered employees. This ruling indicates that they are considered employees, so it's a very interesting case. So he could actually have a case, although the problem he's got is he was a dick. How much was manipulated? I've got a feeling not much. Dickish behaviour is still dickish behaviour, but it'll be interesting to watch. Sarah, I've got to say, you almost ended up on SAS. Are you worried about how you'd be perceived on reality TV?
No, I'm an asshole and I'm fine with it. But we talked about this on Black Box the other day because there's all of these celebrity reality shows coming out, and pretty soon we're going to go back to only celebrity reality shows because apparently civilians can't be trusted to be on television without complaining. And celebrities go into it and they know that how they're going to be portrayed. They know that they're going to come off. They know how to manipulate the way that they act on camera. I mean, I think the longer a show goes, the harder it is. But at first, they're very good at, creating a character. And I think that soon they're probably going to make sure that they have people who've had either some kind of acting training or some kind of public affairs training to go on these shows. Because otherwise, if they're going to have to, if every civilian who goes on there is going to start complaining, well, I wasn't portrayed the way I am. And it's like, maybe you just don't know who you are. And it took a television show to show you your actual personality. Then, I don't see how they're gonna go.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, we need to get you back to Australia and get you on one of these shows,
Yeah.
Jason. Thank you very much. You get to leave before us tonight.
Oh my gosh, do I? So you guys are going to be chatting to Bruno for like 30 minutes. Bruno, I do love you, by the way. Where's Bruno? Can we get him on the screen? I feel bad. I always give him a hard time. Hi, Bruno, you know I love you. In fact, Bruno liked something on my Facebook tonight, so me and Bruno are like Facebook friends now.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of your posts pop up, and I'm like, I've got to give him a thumbs up, No.
How the hell did he get that? You've worked with him for 2 minutes. I never get a like from Bruno. Is it Bruno Mars?
Everyone gets likes from Bruno.
Robbo's going to be very jealous of that.
I'm a big liker giver. I'll give anyone likes.
Just
a couple of those words.
Robbo, to get a like, you've got to post.
Yeah, that's right, Robbo. Robbo doesn't even have Facebook, does he? I don't even know.
All right, Jason, we will see you on Monday.
He's going to be mad at me for that. See you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye, mate. Well,
see you, Jace.
It's almost
See you,
like
buddy.
you already know what's coming
Have a good
because
one.
he's back. Bruno Boucher is in the house. Hello, Bruno.
Hey guys, how are you? Oh, I've missed all of you so much, guys. Sarah, what's happening?
Oh, it's sunrise over here. I haven't seen you like 5 years.
Yeah. I think was the last time we saw each other. Was it at a hotel somewhere and we were having drinks?
It was at the
Georgina
Sheraton,
Walker, the psychic.
and there was Georgina Walker and there was Pauline Hanson.
That's right.
Or maybe
that's right.
Pauline Hanson was there.
Yeah, that was a fun night. That was good.
That was excellent.
Bruno, what have you got for us tonight? Because I haven't got a clue what you've planned.
Hey, guys, I have a fascinating story for you about a rooster who's become an international celebrity. Bigger than Foghorn Leghorn, bigger than Red Rooster, bigger than Chicken Little's dad. So I have look at this photo and tell me what's so unique about this rooster. Can anyone guess?
I got no idea.
The colour of his the top half.
It's nothing physical. You'll never get it.
I think I do know, but I won't spoil it.
Right. It's a very rare Turkish rooster that's become a local, well, it's wrong to say local celebrity, an international celebrity, because every morning it crows for as long as it can, for ages, until it passes out. It drops to the ground from passing out. Do you want to see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Please.
Roll the clip. Wait for it. No. Wait for it.
I read the story. I hadn't watched the video. That's brilliant.
For your viewers who have a heart, they'd be thinking, "Oh, is the rooster okay?" I have a little clip of the rooster getting back up, just so we can cleanse that palate. There you go. He's back. He's back.
Jeez, he gets up much quicker than I would. That's not bad. That's not a bad recovery. I haven't seen that kind of recovery in a rooster since I was much younger, Bruno.
And listen, just
Key West is full
to
of
prove,
roosters. I wish they would all figure this out.
But just to prove that this rooster does this every day, the previous clip was a Monday. The next clip that I have is the next day, on Tuesday. This is our rooster having another go at it.
Oh.
Yeah, he's out and about this time.
Just take a breath, bud.
You'd think, right? Oh boy.
Can I just say, that is like me when I've had too many drinks. I just keep talking until I...
But listen, this rooster is a big deal because on social media he's come to signify that day in, day out hard work, that hustle. And a lot of social media users have been tagging politicians and been like, you need to be more like this incredible rooster. And his owner is like a humble Turkish textile worker named Okan. And I have a little video of him speaking in Turkish whilst another rooster crows in the background, if you just want to have a quick look.
Bunun bu özellikle bayılması hayvan virüsüne yenik düşüyor.
It's a love story.
Sorry, Bruno, what's his name? Is it okay or okay? Because it's an okay from me. What's he doing? He's a bit of a Turkish delight, isn't he?
Now, I was doing a little bit more research on this story because I was fascinated by it, and there was an interview that he did with a Turkish newspaper, and I used the Google Translator to get a good understanding of what the owner was saying. And so I read here. I'll quote exactly what I've got, just so that you guys know I'm not making this up. My cock has become a phenomenon. A person living abroad wanted my cock for 1,250 euros. One person offered to swap my cock with his car, which was worth 25,000 lira. He goes on to say, I would never ever sell my cock, but I am fearful my cock will be taken away from me by force.
Sorry.
That's the quote from our cock owner.
Bruno, can I jump in? Because the comment of the night, can you bring feedback up and I'll send this one through? Oh no, that's the wrong one.
Still, I like it. It's not bad.
Yes, yeah, no, that was a good one. But Mary said most cocks pass out and drop once they are done, don't they?
Oh, Mary's the best with
penis.
those comments. She's always slightly on the rude side.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that about her comments. But listen,
Really
now
want
you
their
know.
politicians to be a one and done?
Yes, indeed.
And look, you're probably thinking, oh, was this whole story just an excuse for Bruno to repeatedly say the word cock during his segment? And I mean, the answer's like, I get, yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, the video was funny too, but yeah.
Oh, that was
Good to be
fantastic.
back.
Wow.
Oh, anyone have a cigarette?
Key West.
You know, I was going to give up drinking this week, but I don't think I will. I need a drink after that. Oh, boy. Bruno, we love you. You are our midweek. You get us over hump day, a hump day Wednesday with Bruno. You get us over the hump. You get us looking
You're our
forward to the rest
favourite
of the
cock,
week.
Bruno.
Yeah,
We
you
love
are. You're the biggest cock amongst all men. We love you, Bruno. We'll see you next Wednesday. And that does bring us to the end of tonight's edition of the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. Sarah, thank you so much for being with us. We've loved having you on.
Yeah.
I
Brilliant.
loved being here. If Anne is way too busy doing her superstar stuff, just let me know.
Well, that is a deal. What did we think of Sarah, studio audience? All right. We will see you tomorrow on the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. See you tomorrow.
See Ange, Rob and Robbo. Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.